Welcome to Good Enough Builds. This is episode 2 of my sauna build out series, and today I'm finishing the exterior of the sauna, including installing a tin roof. Before we can put up our siding, we need to get the trim on. I bought these 10-inch wide shelving boards for about $10 each. They actually measure 9" and a quarter. Since my saw blade is about 1/8 of an inch, I can cut 3 perfect 3-inch strips from a single board. It's always the easy things you screw up, right? I put the board on overlapping the wrong way. So now I gotta pull out all of these brad nails, put it back on again. With the edge pieces on, it's now time to frame out the door. Hands are cold. Doors are hard, but putting on those roof trusses was definitely still harder. Now, I have to switch the hinges around because I put them on backwards. And the door doesn't really close, it kind of just springs open. Here, check this out. You can use this little dongle on the bottom to adjust the tension. So this way, it's gonna make it firmer. And this way, it's gonna make it more relaxed, yeah. So let's crank it up, nice and strong. Nice. So I was on Facebook Marketplace and I found a free window. It's actually a glass railing, but it's tempered glass and it's a 1/2 inch thick. It's also huge, so it only just barely fits. And it's gonna look right out at the water, which is perfect. So I gotta cut the hole out, trim it out, and put the window in. Okay, that one's off. I want this sauna to look nice and be comfortable, but it's still a budget build. In my original design, there was no window at all, but this marketplace find was just too good to pass up. However, there are a couple things you need to keep in mind if you're planning something similar. First, single pane windows aren't great for saunas. They'll work fine, there's nothing wrong with them, but they only have an R value of about 1, which is basically the same as an uninsulated wall. A good rule of thumb is to add 1.5 times the window area to your total sauna volume when sizing your electric heater. You'll notice that we don't have a header up top here. Normally you would, but in our case, because we've got this ceiling that's actually a 2x4 kind of up on edge already, and we've put a bunch of structural screws into the bottom here, technically we do have a header that is 5 inches thick. Plus this wall is actually not load bearing because the roof trusses run from the back wall to the front wall, and this one kind of just sits in the middle. The second thing to consider is fogging. As hot sauna air hits a cooler window pane, condensation forms, and a single pane window is more prone to that. I'm hoping it won't be noticeable for a few reasons. 1, I don't plan on throwing water on the rocks. 2, it doesn't usually get very cold where I live. And 3, I'm planning to place the heater right beside the window. As an added benefit, that should also mitigate some of that cold, drafty, radiant chill you sometimes feel near windows in a sauna.
That's a freaking huge window. Oh well, I've already cut the hole, so there's no going back. Now normally you would use butyl tape to go around the trim of all the windows and doors, but it's a sauna. Butyl tape's really expensive. We don't get a ton of rain here, and tuck tape is waterproof, so we're just gonna use this. Now the top we're gonna leave open, just in case water does get behind it from above. It'll run down the back and out, as opposed to if we tape it, then it gets stuck there and it rots the wood. So the top one we'll leave open, we'll put the window in, and then before we put the siding on, we'll do some flashing to redirect the water out.
With the window hole cut out, it's time to prep it for the glass. I'm cutting some 1x1 inch blocking. The plan is to sandwich the glass between this blocking to hold it in place. After a quick sand, and the blocking, along with the 1x6 windowsill, is ready for a high temperature paint. I had to take about a week away from the build for work, and during my absence, my brother was able to finish up the siding. He started by applying a cedar stain to these 1x6 inch pine boards. I know it looks a little orange, but after it dries in natural light and when the rest of the sauna is painted black, I promise it looks stunning. If you made it to episode 2, thank you for sticking with the build. I'm still figuring these videos out as I go, but everything you see in this build is planned and researched well beforehand. And when something doesn't go to plan, I'll show that too, because that's usually where the best lessons are. By the end of this series, you won't just see a finished product, you'll understand how I did it and why I made certain decisions, and how you could tackle something similar yourself. Not perfect, just good enough.
Okay, I swear we're only about 2 weeks into this build, but the snow's come, so we just gotta work through it. Why did we decide to start building a sauna in late November? I don't know.
Framing out the window trim is the last step before we can finally get this window installed.
Next up, I'm going to reinforce all the blocking around the inside of the sill where the window is going to sit, just because the window is really heavy. There's a fair bit of wind that comes from this direction. It's going to be pushing against the window, so I want to make sure that that blocking is nice and secure. We're going to start with some pilot holes so that I don't break the wood. Now we're just going to put in some 3-inch long deck screws. now I've got a little bit of paint left, so I'm just gonna go around and touch up all the screw heads, as well as the end grain of the wood, which I, turns out, can't do with gloves on. I've cut the hole big enough that there's about a ½ inch of space all the way around the window on all 4 sides. So I'm gonna place some shims, so that way it just provides a little bit of room for expansion contraction so that the window doesn't crack as the wood shifts. Does it? Okay, that was terrifying, but the window's in, and it looks freaking awesome. So now I'm gonna tape around all the edges. We're gonna silicone it just to prevent any draft. Then we're gonna finish up with a few pieces of the siding that are left, then onto the roof. For those of you wondering, it's -12 out right now. Now, should I be siliconing when it's -12 out? Nope. But I also don't want to leave this exposed to the elements, so if I have to redo the silicone in the summer, then that's fine.
For that bottom blocking piece, you may have noticed I used a wider board in order to extend the sill past my window trim. I also cut some notches into it to allow any water that happens to get behind to drain out.
All right, just like that, window's done. So before we can put the tin on the roof, we need to put the fascia around the outside. So time to get to cutting. Safety first. Don't worry about the color, it's all going to be painted black.
With the fascia on, there's only one thing left to complete the exterior of this sauna. I've always wanted to do a tin roof, and this felt like the perfect opportunity. The roof's small, so it's affordable and not too intimidating. Plus, tin lets me go with a 1 in 12 pitch, keeping the overall height of the sauna down. We started by tacking down the underlayment. Just like shingles, you always begin at the lowest point and work up. Honestly, the hardest part of this install was just sorting out the terminology. Every manufacturer seems to call these pieces something different, so bear with me as I try my best. We started with the bottom drip edge. Cutting it 1 inch long, we bent the edges over and nailed them in place. Same thing on the other side.
This ladder is not the sketchy ladder.
For the gable flashing, I went with an F profile since it's more resistant to wind. A universal or J-style gable would have worked too. The L-style, basically drip edge, does the job, but wind can push water in from the sides, so avoid that one if you're in a high wind area. Don't mind that this piece looks like it was cut off with a dull beaver. It's getting removed in a second. See? Also, if there are any roofers watching this, feel free to roast me in the comments. I'm always down to learn. These sheets are a standard 36 inches wide. Since our roof is 8 feet across, the third sheet had to be ripped down with a grinder. After installing the foam closures, we finished it off with the ridge cap. Thanks for watching this episode of Good Enough Builds. We're getting pretty close. We've still got some soffits to do, maybe a door handle, a bit of paint work, but otherwise the exterior is pretty much done. Feel free to leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and smash that notification bell if you like what you're watching. And in the next episode, we're working on the interior. I'm talking insulation, foil vapor barrier, cedar tongue and groove boards, benches, and if we're lucky, even installing the heater. Right now though, I need a hot chocolate.